Yeah, it is a good morning. 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's the 8th day of May, 2014. Nice looking, beautiful looking Thursday morning, and the sun is beautiful. Just lightening up everything. As it does every day. Love the palm trees outside the window here. Good morning, Robin. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry.
Got a good show. Got a good show planned today. You are 2 days away from taking a big flight up to New York City, huh?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, but it's got to be exciting for you right now.
It's very exciting.
You're finally heading up there. 7:35 this morning. We'll kick it off. We're going to talk about Charlie Crist a little bit. He was on Fusion TV's program with the host Jorge Ramos.
Ooh.
Or Ramos. I don't know how you say his name. It's a Spanish TV. Well, it's not Spanish. He speaks in English, but he's Hispanic. Well,
yeah.
Jorge is, obviously. Anyway, so Charlie Crist says he left the Republican Party because it was a racist party. And so I just want to, I guess, look at it and see what you think. I mean, do you think... a couple of questions I have about that. Do you think he believes it? Mm-hmm. I'm sure many people don't agree with him or believe it. I'm sure many people do believe it and agree with it. Mm-hmm. So we'll kind of just talk about that and throw it out there. I've got some sound bites from it. 8:35 this morning, News Bites. We'll take the news from around the world, around the nation, around the state, and we will talk about this as well as around town. We do have a story today around town because of the funeral of the Highway Patrol trooper, 30-year-old Chelsea. I have to think of her first name, Chelsea Richard. Her funeral is today. Governor Scott is expected to be in town today.
Yeah.
At the funeral, so.
I finally brought myself to look at her picture this morning.
You did? You looked at her photo?
Yeah. It's just so... It's
so heartbreaking. All three of them. I'm not trying to single one out.
No, all three.
But anyway, there's a grassroots movement regarding that, and it's a simple one, and it's an honorable one, I think, anyway. And it's, and I'll tell you if you need to know it, but it's in the paper, it's everywhere, the procession, the funeral procession. The traffic will be closed on the route of the procession. Mm-hmm. And there's a large group of people on Facebook and I guess other means saying, yeah, I'm gonna be standing saluting, or I'm gonna be standing bowing my head as the procession goes by, just to show the family that this story has touched all of us. So.
And some people are probably doing that not just for Chelsea, but for all of the other officers that are fallen. I mean, oh my gosh.
I see what you're saying. Yes.
So tragic all the way around.
Specifically for her, symbolically for all of them, yes.
Correct.
Hank Whittier will be here at 9:05. Speaking of men who honor our first responders and our military veterans, etc., Hank is above and beyond anybody you'll ever meet who does this, and he'll be in here today. And of course, he's got a great sense of humor. Mm-hmm. So he does. But he's a great guy, and he'll be in here this morning at 9:05 to bring you veterans news, as he does every Thursday. John Fishwick is coming on at 9:35. He's a chemist. He joined the British Army to study Russian with the British intelligence.
Yeah.
The language of Russian. Mm-hmm. And he's written a book. It's called A Flight to Romance. So we're going to try to connect the dots and see how he went from joining the British intelligence to studying Russian to writing a novel.
And he's also a long-time member of Mensa.
Which is the Genius Club, right?
Yeah, so we can't pull anything over on him.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Yeah, well, he's...
The word genius is an interesting word. In his case, it's calculatable because there's a number associated with Mensa.
Yeah.
Right, an IQ number?
I think so.
But we call artists geniuses. We call comedians geniuses.
That's right, musicians.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if they qualify for the Mensa because I don't know if they reach that number IQ wise.
I know.
Some of them probably do.
Yeah, but
it's a thrown around word. It's kind of like superstar. It became a thrown around word. Annette Herfkins is coming on at 10:05. She is the sole survivor of an airplane crash in the Vietnamese jungle. Her story is unbelievable. She's written about it in a book called Turbulence, so she'll tell you about that. And looking forward to hearing about it. Allison Tyler at 10:35. She has written some short stories that appear in more than 100 anthologies.
Yep.
And they are sultry.
I love
sultry short
It's a
stories.
classy word, sultry.
Sultry short stories, yes. Her book is called Never Say Never, and these are tips, tricks, and erotic inspiration for lovers.
That's right.
Do lovers need erotic inspiration? Just each other, I think. Tara Ross is coming in at 11:05. Tara is a retired attorney, former editor-in-chief of the Texas Review of Law and Politics. And Tara has a book she wants to talk about. It's called Enlightened Democracy, The Case for the Electoral College. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you requested her.
This is the one I requested. Well, I've requested many, but this one I requested because we had this discussion about, the state of New York has decided, remember this? Mm-hmm. They have decided to allow their electoral votes to go along with the national popular vote as opposed to the popular vote of the state of New York, which makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it does make sense. And I tried to argue this, but it occurred to me that I can't argue it as well as Tara Ross can. Mm-hmm. And we had her on years ago. Well, maybe not yet. Well, yeah, probably years ago.
When we were in the other studio.
So we did some looking back and tried to figure out who her publicist was, and we found her. So,
yes.
So she's coming on today. Looking forward to it.
And we got her right before she retired, too.
Who? Linda?
Publicist.
Oh, the publicist, yeah. Yeah, I know.
We'll miss her.
Publicists are like a gold mine if you can get in with one if you do a radio show.
Yeah.
The fun with Joe today, we're still counting down the VH1 top 100 love songs of all time.
Nice.
This is going to take a while. We'll continue today. I'll play little pieces of those songs, and you and Joe will have to guess if Joe's here today. If not, then Dan will do it. Trying to guess the name of the song or the name of the artist.
And Dan won yesterday.
Dan won. He's good at this.
He's very good.
And then when Galen is on, hopefully he's got his voice back. We've got some face. Ever since Facebook started, you could not only represent yourself, but you could start a group, like a club.
Yeah.
Oh, wait till you hear some of these clubs that are on Facebook. There's some interesting ones.
Gosh.
There's
wow.
a WD-40 club.
Really?
Yeah, that's all they talk about is what they do with WD-40.
Well, that's interesting.
But wait till you hear some of the others. I wouldn't have told you one of the good ones until later on when we have Galen on, because that's just the way we do it.
Maybe Allison Tyler started that club. Never say never.
I got it. I think for a second, who the heck is Allison Tyler? Oh, that's right. She's our guest today. All right, let me go to the phone. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air and for waiting, by the way.
Yes, good morning, all. Stamp out hunger.
Yes.
This hunger. This weekend.
Saturday.
Yes, leave some non-perishable food out by your mailbox, and the Postal Service will pick it up and distribute it to the local area food banks.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing you do, Jim. That's so great. And that's a national campaign, right?
That's a national. This is happening all over the country.
So, Robin, when you're in New York, you can do it up there.
Oh, no. I'm putting it out Saturday morning before I leave. I got my bag.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. All right. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
All right, have a good morning.
That's
Bye.
a great thing you guys do. Yeah, thank you.
And what's interesting, the United Way of Marion County has put out a call that if people want to be part of the distribution and sorting process, call them. We posted it on Facebook, the contact name and the phone number at United Way. That's spearheading the distribution and collecting in our area, alongside with the post office. Anybody wants to volunteer, go to the WOCA Facebook page, and you'll see the name of the person and the phone number to call.
And remind me, when is Dance Like a Chicken Day? That's a week from...
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
This Wednesday. This coming up Wednesday, a week from yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
So what that has to do with anything is it's the same thing. It's the same idea. It's that you organize some Dance Like a Chicken events, mm-hmm. and then you gather food and you give it to organizations that distribute that food. It's pretty simple. And our role in this year, anyway, is pretty simple. We'll just let people know about your event because we don't really have one this year. Mm-hmm. But if you have one, well, we're here to be your mouthpiece. We are your school announcement
That's
team.
right. And just like Jim takes advantage of the system, and it's just so great to get that message out there.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so let us know if you're doing something for the Dance Like a Chicken. Now, Joe did have an idea. Joe Martone. Mm-hmm. He had an idea to have people dancing like a chicken and then getting a chicken sandwich.
Oh, cool.
But that's between him and Chick-fil-A. I don't know if he's going to figure a way to do this or not.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll be gathering food if he does that. It would be kind of cool. You got a few cans,
That's right.
deliver them to, I guess, Interfaith or something, right?
Right, bring it here to WOCA on Wednesday.
Well, you know what? You could just bring it to Interfaith.
There you go.
You could just be the person who delivers your own food. All right, a couple of other things. Let me just re-mention the fact that today is the funeral for Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Chelsea Renee Richard, I believe is her full name. As you know, she was killed last week with two other people, a tow truck driver and the father of the girl who was in the original crash, who sent his daughter and his wife out of harm's way, said, "Get out of here, this is too dangerous." He was absolutely right. It was very dangerous. I believe in heaven, and I believe he's in heaven, and he's probably very glad that he sent his daughter and his wife away so that his daughter could live a full life.
Yes.
But anyway, today's the funeral of Trooper Richard, and there is a grassroots movement to stand along the procession route and show your respect by saluting and or bowing your head. So there you go. Also, the Relay for Life. I wanted to make sure I mentioned this. Last week it was rainy, as you remember. The Relay for Life at the Trinity Catholic High School was supposed to have been last Friday night. It is now tomorrow night.
Yep.
Tomorrow night it'll be from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. The whole idea of doing an overnight thing, if you don't already know, is to say that we won't sleep until there's a cure for cancer. It's a way to raise money for fighting cancer. Last year they raised $70,000 with this campaign. If you want to honor somebody or memorialize somebody who has either been taken by cancer or has fought cancer or is fighting cancer, there's a luminaria. That's where they take those white paper bags, I think they're paper, and they set a candle in them and they light them, and you can put the person's photo and all that on there.
It's a wonderful event.
All right, we've got to move forward. Fox News is coming up, and we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Steve Rappaport. Lois Lerner told lawmakers,
I have not done anything wrong.
But House Republicans disagreed.
Lerner is now in contempt for refusing to answer questions about the IRS targeting certain conservative groups for extra scrutiny. The long-anticipated vote comes a year after Lerner declared her innocence and then took the fifth.
Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland, most Democrats opposed the vote. The DEA arresting hundreds of people across the country as part of a crackdown on synthetic drugs.
Investigators say the active ingredients are smuggled into the U.S. from China. Investigators say synthetic drugs also pose a serious public health threat because ingredients and dosages vary so much from package to package, it's hard to know exactly what's inside.
Fox's Jonathan Seri. The football stars of tomorrow shine tonight when the NFL draft kicks off. The Houston Texans have first pick. Fox News. We report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto. Shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business Net.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Palm Chevrolet, where supporting the community is the Palm Chevy way, and by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Some people say roses, but only Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens has those famous sweet-smelling, fast-growing David Austin roses at a special price this week, just $24.99. Now, they're regularly over $30. They're just $24.99 for these fabulous beauties. If you like knockouts, they're still available, just $10 each. Bob also has Parsoni Juniper, just $2.95, and those giant 4-packs of veggies, just 99 cents each. Fresh sod arrives each weekend, and it's only $1.50. And of course, Bob Wine's now famous no-float pine straw, just $4.99 a bale, and if you buy 10, it's $4.49 a bale. The tree sale's still going on, so don't miss that. Check this week's ad. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Growing greener with Ocala since 1952.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. You don't have to sacrifice convenience for local personal service.
At Florida Credit Union, you can transfer your high credit card balances to our rewards card and actually get paid with cash back. You'll enjoy low rates and a customizable card that fits your lifestyle for free.
Never tried a credit union? Maybe it's time for a new game plan.
The Florida Credit Union Wave Card, connecting your money to your life.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370, WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults, so use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000, 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
Thank you very much. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. It doesn't get much more beautiful than this, Robin. Look at this. And you're
gorgeous.
You're flying out Saturday morning. What's the weather look like for Saturday? Did you look?
Yeah, it looks pretty
Looks
good.
pretty good?
The middle of the week is supposed to be 50 and rainy, so.
Here or there or
There.
both? There. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't look here.
Well, you know, New York is great in the rain, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like
Got my
Paris, even though I've
umbrella.
never been in Paris. But everybody says Paris is great in the rain.
Yeah, that's where Gene Kelly was when he was singing in the rain, just dancing in the rain.
Right now it is 68 degrees here at the Paddock Mall, and I do want to talk about Charlie Crist. First, though, I want to talk about this commercial fishing captain here in Florida. Have you heard about this story?
No, I haven't.
A Florida commercial fishing captain who was convicted of a felony
Okay.
and faced 20 years in prison for dumping 3 underweight fish will have his appeal heard by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Oh, my God. Oh, my
He
God.
dumped 3 underweight fish,
Uh-huh.
faces 20 years in prison, so the Supreme Court's going to listen to the case. The High Court on April 28th granted a hearing on fisherman John Yates's appeal. Yates is from Holmes Beach here in Florida. He was convicted of evidence tampering after officers from the National Marine Fisheries Service entered his vessel, which is called Miss Katie, by the way,
Oh, okay.
counted 72 red grouper that they say were underweight. And they ordered him to hold the fish until he returned to port from the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
The next day, during the recount, the officers determined that 3 of the grouper were missing.
Well, he could have got hungry.
He could have got hungry.
Of course. Or maybe they were rotting. I mean,
Yates said that the officers originally measured his catch improperly and erratically. Doesn't matter. Yates was charged in 2007 and convicted in 2012, serving 30 days in jail in a case seen by some legal observers as a prime example of over-criminalization
Yes.
Making otherwise law-abiding citizens unwitting offenders over relatively minor infractions.
Gee.
An attorney named William Shepard, who's, by the way, also a former Florida statewide prosecutor, who filed an amicus brief in the Yates case. Don't ask me, I don't know what that is. On behalf of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, told reporters that the Sarbanes-Oxley Act was improperly used by prosecutors against Yates.
Oh, gee.
The 2002 law was initially passed by Congress to protect investors against fraudulent corporate disclosures. What? It doesn't even sound like we're talking about the same story anymore, does it?
No.
But somehow they made a connection with that so that they could justify this.
Gosh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Under the text of the law, and then I'll get on to my Charlie Crist thing. Under the text of the law, it is criminal to, quote, destroy, mutilate, conceal, or cover up any record, document, or tangible object with the intent to impede, obstruct, or influence the investigation or proper administration of any matter within the jurisdiction of any department or agency of the United States, unquote. Anyway, so he had what? They say he had 72. It ended up he had what? 69. There's still 69 underweight fish that they could still use to make their case.
Yeah, exactly.
But where's those 3 fish?
Yeah.
Are you sure you guys counted them right?
Exactly.
I mean, if the law is the law, then 1 fish should be all. Unless they just want to have, we want to have 72 counts of violations against you, Mr. Professional Fisherman, who it's probably inevitable. You're going to, especially when you're net fishing, probably catch a lot of fish that need to be thrown back. That's crazy.
Sure.
Crazy stuff.
And I learned that thing about the length of grouper and stuff from your nephews because they would go fishing and.
Big tangent if you go there.
Yeah, but gee.
All right. Well, anyway, so I just wanted to make sure you knew about that one. And all right, now let's talk about Charlie Crist. Charlie Crist, as you know, was a Republican, was our governor.
Yes, he was.
I wasn't always opposed to anything he said, like all elected officials. Some things I agree, some things I disagree. I must tell you, the first soundbite I'm going to play, I absolutely agree with Charlie Crist. Absolutely. Makes 100% sense. I can't imagine it being any differently than what he says. And this is in an interview that he granted to Jorge Ramos on Fusion TV. And here's the quote that I absolutely agree with.
This is about forward. There's 3 moments in time, Jorge: the past, the present, and the future. This is a race about the future. Most elections are.
Okay. Alrighty. There you go.
I absolutely agree that most races are about the future.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's teaching Jorge.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you ready? Listen to it again. Listen to it again.
This is about forward. There's 3 moments in time, Jorge: the past, the present, and the future. This is a race about the future. Most elections are.
Hey, Jorge, I don't know how you notice this. There's only 3 pieces of time.
Yeah, right.
There's the past, which is everything before now.
Yes.
There's right now, this second, and then there's everything in the future. In my case, I'm running for the office of the governor of the state of Florida again.
Yes.
I switched tracks. Was a Republican, now I'm a Democrat, and I'm putting my foot down, man. This time I'm campaigning for the future.
This is about forward. There's 3 moments in time, Jorge: the past, the present, and the future. This is a race about the future. Most elections are.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I just want you to know.
How can you not agree with something?
Which is why I make my point that I don't always disagree with people that are in office or wanting to be in office. In this case, I absolutely agree. I wonder what Jorge thought.
He was.
Oh, duh.
Yeah, it's like, I am smart.
Although I do think that there is an app in the works.
Oh, okay.
It's a time reversal app, and you will actually be able to run and say, I promise, if elected, I will make sure the Holocaust never happens.
Yeah, there you go.
I promise, if elected, I will make sure Lincoln never gets shot. I promise, if elected.
Perfect.
Huh?
Perfect.
Yeah, it's an app. It's called the Back app. Backwards Politics app. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning. I think that comment by Charlie Crist was brilliant.
Me too. Absolutely.
Because he doesn't want to talk about his past, so he's going to just say, "We're just not going to talk about the past. We're only going to talk about the future."
Good point. Yeah, good point.
Can I say something about Mr. Crist's comment that the Republicans are racists?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just want to remind everybody that the Senate race that Mr. Crist was involved with, after it was obvious that he wasn't going to defeat Marco Rubio for the Republican nomination. By the way, in case everybody forgot, Rubio is Hispanic.
Right.
The person that was opposing Marco Rubio was Kendrick Meek. He's an African American. I think his family was very active in the civil rights movement, for generations. If Charlie Crist, who's an old white guy, although people say he's orange, but he is white, if he really wanted to help, promote racial harmony, he should have stepped out of that race and let Kendrick Meek take on Marco Rubio without interfering as a third-party candidate. And I know other people want to talk, Larry. I'll hang up now. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. By the way, I do have a soundbite regarding whether or not Charlie Crist jumped tracks because of Rubio. Here's the quote. This is also in the interview with Jorge Ramos.
They're perceived now as being anti-women, anti-immigrant, anti-minority, anti-gay, anti-education, anti-environment. I just wasn't comfortable.
Okay, that's what he said about the Republicans. That was the wrong soundbite. Here's, I think this might be the one.
I mean, you left the Republican Party because you were going to lose to Marco Rubio.
No, I left the Republican Party because the Republican leadership went off the cliff. I mean, they're so hard right now, they won't cooperate with the president on anything.
So, yeah. So Jorge Ramos was basically saying the same thing that Pete was saying.
Yes.
That it appeared that he left because of Marco Rubio.
I mean, you left the Republican Party because you were going to lose to Marco Rubio.
No, I left the Republican Party because the Republican leadership went off the cliff. I mean, they're so hard right now, they won't cooperate with the president on anything.
Well, there are some who are hard right. I wouldn't disagree with that. But I mean, there's everybody with that R next to their name. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely crazy. Here's another soundbite.
And I saw how the party, some of them, were treating the African American president. And I couldn't take it anymore. And that's a big part of why I left the party.
They were treating Clinton the same way, though. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you may not agree with the politics, but, and I wouldn't say that absolutely across the board there was no racism by anybody, because there always is. And P.S., it happens in both directions. It's a two-way street.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so those are the things he said on Jorge Ramos's show. But I'll leave on a positive note. The thing I agree with is this.
This is about forward. There's 3 moments in time, Jorge. The past, the present, and the future.
Thank you.
This is a race about the future.
Absolutely.
Most elections are.
Absolutely. No question about it. Most races are about the future.
We should interview Jorge.
Oh goodness, I love the way he is. I love the way Jorge Ramos is.
Yeah.
He has such a thick Hispanic accent, and yet I can understand him. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a cool thing that he was able to pull that off. He's learned to speak English, and if I sound like I'm picking on him, I don't mean to. But he's got that thick. If you go into Barnes & Noble, there's a course that you can take to remove whatever foreign accent you may have if you're trying to learn English and speak the way we do, although we've got several accents here too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all mixed up as well.
Right.
But you ever see those audio courses where if you have learned English but you have retained an accent that is associated with your native language, mm-hmm. you can take a course. You know, John Tesh, who does the nighttime show here, and he's syndicated, obviously, he does a music show. He has no discernible New York accent.
Oh, you're
But he
correct.
took a course to remove that New York accent.
Oh,
So-
I didn't know that.
Well, he told us in an interview we did with him.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot about
All right, let's push forward, and we do have a few fun things to do when we speak to Galen. If we speak to Galen this morning, he had laryngitis yesterday. We will talk about some Facebook groups and pages that are just kind of fun, stuff to look at. It's weird. It's weird how people will kind of gather together, but it is about the future, I would think. All right, we've got to push forward. We'll take a little break and listen to some news, etc., weather, and we'll be right back. Deal?
Yo.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi,
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready for prom season with updos and makeup. And with summer coming, now's the time to book your appointment to get that Brazilian blowout or start with your summer highlights. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
Earn an income and regain your health.
My name is Dave. I've been a type 2 diabetic for about 20 years. Before I was introduced to the product, my sugar was running in the 200s. Now it's anywhere between 80 and 100, and I earn $500 to $1,000 a month.
I lowered my cholesterol 100 points. Because I shared with other people, I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom. I've earned over $100,000 a year, and I've been able to travel the world with this company. I am very excited.
I'm Paul. I had a son with 60 food allergies, and he's done wonderful. I got laid off after a 24-year career. We started working this full-time. Within a year and a half, we had $4,000 or $5,000 profit every month. Recently, we had one month that went over $12,000. We love this company.
Do you need more income? The science of epigenetics is getting attention from the medical community, National Cancer Institute, American Heart Association, and others. Call Arlene and Dave 352-239-1032. 352-239-1032.
Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA Marion County Sheriff's Office detectives need help to identify a burglary suspect. Security photos and video clearly show a white male, early to mid-30s, with short, dark hair and a full beard that appeared trimmed. The subject appeared to be of average height, about 180 to 200 pounds, wearing a royal blue shirt that appeared to have the image of a fish on the back and light-colored blue jeans. That information, according to Judge Cochran, Marion County Sheriff's Office Public Information Officer. The news release mentions that the suspect also has tattoos on his left forearm. The suspect left and returned to the home. Upon his second visit, the suspect was wearing a camouflage shirt and a dark fabric, possibly a towel, on his head. According to the homeowner, the burglary happened between 8:40 and 8:55 a.m. on May 5th at the home along Southeast 50th Avenue Road in Bellevue. At one point, the photos show the suspect carrying a string trimmer. Additionally, the suspect took a chainsaw, according to the homeowner. The Star Banner has published photos of the suspect. Contact detectives if you recognize him or have any other information by calling 438-5940. You can also call anonymously to Crime Stoppers of Marion County at 368-STOP or go online to ocalacrimestoppers.com. An announcement from Governor Rick Scott's office indicates that the governor is expected to attend the funeral service today of 30-year-old Chelsea Richard, the Florida Highway Patrol trooper who, along with two others, was killed on the side of I-75 over the weekend. Traffic around First Baptist Church on Maricamp Road will be blocked, and the public is being asked to honor the planned closures. An escort for Richard's family is scheduled to begin around 1 p.m. in the 4900 block of State Road 40, heading west to Southeast 25th Avenue, and then onto Maricamp Road and north on Southeast 30th Avenue, and then to the entrance of the church. All side roads will be blocked during the procession. The escort for Richard's body will depart from Hyers-Baxley Funeral Home at 910 East Silver Springs Boulevard at 1:15 this afternoon, heading east on Silver Springs Boulevard to Southeast 25th Avenue, Maricamp Road, and Southeast 30th Avenue, as well as the church. At the conclusion of the service, the escort will return to Hyers-Baxley Funeral Home, and traffic again will be blocked. A grassroots movement is underway asking those who are interested to stand along the procession route and salute or show respect for Trooper Richard by bowing the head. And the Ocala Relay for Life event, which was postponed last week because of rain, will be tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at Trinity Catholic High School. The event is a fun family event with a serious purpose and a special ceremony. There will be a bounce house, food vendors, and more. But of course, the event is about more than just having a good time. For 12 hours, members of the 36 Relay for Life teams will take turns walking around the Trinity Catholic athletic track, signifying the fight against cancer won't sleep until there's a cure. The Luminaria ceremony is the event's highlight. Luminarias are white bags that are decorated with a name, a photo, a message, or a drawing in memory or honor of a friend or loved one who has been affected by cancer. In a moving ceremony that takes place after dark, these bags will be lit from the inside, setting aglow the hope all relay participants have that research will soon provide a cure for cancer. Last year, through the Ocala Relay for Life event, Marion County residents raised more than $70,000 to help fight cancer. This year, organizers hope to raise even more. For more information about the Ocala Relay for Life event, visit relayforlife.org/OcalaFL or call Caitlin Floyd, specialist for Relay for Life's Florida division. Her number is 352-240-5063. And those are the headlines from the source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Mostly sunny today with a high of 86 at the coast to 92 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, low 68 inland, 73 on the coast. Tomorrow, a warm day with sun and some clouds, high 85 at the coast, about 90 inland. And for Saturday, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm in spots, the high 82 at the coast, 89 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Your heating and air conditioning unit sure will get a workout this season, and you need to make sure it's in tip-top condition. Let Air Ducts Heating and Air give you that peace of mind by knowing your unit will work at its optimum efficiency, saving you time and money. Air Ducts is a full HVAC residential and commercial company. Air Ducts is family-owned and operated, so we treat you the way we want to be treated. Air Ducts also offers discounts for builders and commercial applications, so give us a call today, 352-304-6766. That number again, 352-304-6766. Air Ducts Heating and Air Conditioning.
Thank you, Dan. It's 5 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning, and hope you're doing well. I hope you got something fun planned for the weekend. I got a couple of things I can tell you about that you might want to participate in. Now, the first one would be specifically if you have some children who would be interested in baseball. Our friend Galen Unold from Life South is actually the go-to guy for this event. This is something called Pitch, Hit, and Run. It is described as the official skills competition of Major League Baseball, and it is a grassroots program designed to provide youngsters with an opportunity to compete for free. There's no charge in this. In a competition that recognizes individual excellence in core baseball and softball skills.
Yeah.
This is not just for boys, by the way. It's for boys and girls.
Yep.
And they are divided into the different age groups, and they will have a chance to advance through 4 levels of competition, including team championships at major league ballparks and the national finals at the 2014 MLB All-Star Game. How cool is that?
Wow.
So,
that is cool.
If we have piqued your attention and you want to know how to do this, the participants must bring a copy of their birth certificate and have their parent or guardian fill out a registration form prior to the start of the competition. So here's what you need to know. You need to know where. It is at the Oak Griner Baptist Church. They've got a baseball field there.
Yes, they do. Nice one.
And they are located at 6422 Northeast Jacksonville Road. So that's your where. Now you want to know when. It's this Saturday. This Saturday, May 10th at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's about all you really need to know. And we're going to give you Galen Unold's phone number so you can call him if you have any questions. It does say here, and I'll tell you this in advance so you don't need to call him for this information. The individual pitching, hitting, and running champions, along with the all-around champion in each age and gender group, at the local competition will be awarded and advance to the sectional level of competition. I believe the kids who advance to that level get to go to Tropicana Field?
Yes. Where the Rays play.
Where the Rays play. So Galen Unold's phone number is, you got your pens ready? 352. That's the area code.
Yes.
Which also spells out FLA on your phone, by the way.
Yes, it does.
352-425-1044. 425 1044. If you have a child that you think would be interested in this, may I re-emphasize the word free?
Yes.
It is free. And Galen, you know, it does a lot more than, Life South is big enough, what he does, but he does volunteer his time for
Little League Baseball.
Little League Baseball and
Coaches,
some other things he does in our community.
Right.
Just pull that microphone down. You're not quite hearing like I should.
Oh, okay.
There you
Here
go.
I am.
Also, this Saturday, our young men and women in the 351st Military Police Company are deploying.
Mm-hmm.
There's a deployment ceremony happening at the Ocala Marion County Veterans Memorial Park Saturday morning at 10 a.m. If you'd like to go over there and show your support. And the more people that show up, the more they realize that we are definitely not making the mistakes we made during the Vietnam War of making our military feel somehow that we were not proud of them. We are proud of them. In addition to you and I and many in the community being there, Robin will be there in spirit.
Yep, because you and I have been there before when they've done the deployments, and
Oh, yeah.
they've come home too, and Maury Dean was the head of that, and it was just so emotional when we went.
But anyway, the Kingdom of the Sun Concert Band will also be there. Les Muncaster, also a veteran, by the way. Outstanding member of our community simply by the work he does for free.
Yes.
With the Kingdom of the Sun Concert Band. It is a volunteer band.
Yep, they don't get paid at all.
They're so good. Anyway, they will be there. The Marion County Sheriff's Office Pipes and Drums Group, also it's kind of cool to watch them. You don't get to see them that often. The only place I've ever seen them really, except for parades, is at these events over at the park.
Yeah.
The Veterans Park.
And they wear their kilts. I mean, they're all
See, this
decked
is
out.
important to you. It's not important.
I can't help it.
I guess the only way I can relate to this is I do enjoy women in skirts.
Yeah.
It's a very sexist thing to say, but I guess I can understand why women like men in kilts. I don't know that you'd like me in a kilt, but these guys with their bagpipes and that little flap that hangs out in front,
Oh,
so you
yeah.
can have a place to put your mouthpiece, I guess.
Yep, with the little pouch.
The mouthpiece on the bagpipe is what I meant. That's what.
okay.
Thank you, Dan. I always think Dan when I hear the music coming on, bailing me out. Anyway, the presentation of the colors on Saturday will be done by the Bellevue High School ROTC, and the unit commander will make some. We'll speak a little bit. Anyway, it's 10 o'clock a.m. this coming Saturday morning at the Ocala Marion County Veterans Memorial Park. We've got to move forward. We've got Fox News, and then we'll be back hopefully with Galen Unod from Life South, and we'll talk about some of the odd clubs on Facebook.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Pro-Russian separatists in East Ukraine pushing ahead with a referendum on autonomy, even after the Russian president called for a delay.
Russian leaders say they're afraid that if they do, they'll be persecuted and prosecuted by the interim government in Kiev as it continues its anti-terrorism campaign to root out pro-Russian separatists.